Hey everyone. Um, so I saw the results last night, and um, I like the results that came out of Idaho and Utah. I mean, those were crushing defeats in favor of Bernie Sanders, and Hillary Clinton won no, Arizona. I don't think so. Many websites are reporting Arizona voter fraud. They reported it yesterday, I think, just hours before the polls even closed, that they were not even. Some voters weren't even allowed to vote. Their voter registration IDs were being rigged, so because they were well, some were apparently registered Democrats, and yet the voter ID said they were independents or Republicans when um, in this case it seems it's, for registered Democrats, it, for anybody, it's changing the status to independent or Republican if you're voting for Bernie. It seems. It's not necessarily to vote for Bernie, it's to suppress the vote and get lower turnout, which Bernie wins if he gets high voter turnout, and if not, it really hurts him. But, you see, if Hillary had won Arizona and Iowa and Nevada and Massachusetts fairly, I'd be fine with it. If she won all those states fairly, I'd be fine with it. And she has won a lot of states fairly. So the states she's won fairly, I'm fine with. And, if Bernie did this, I'd call him out on it too. He'd be in the media for it, but he's not. And that's because he doesn't do that kind of crap. But this voter suppression is ridiculous. I've seen a lot of petitions, or not a lot, but I've seen a petition on the main White House website to, one is to demand a recount, which I think is just as important as the one let me pull it up here, to investigate the voter suppression and voter fraud, and wow, over 71,000 signatures and less than 29,000 to go on that one. And on the one for a recount in Arizona, there's about 13,000, about 86,000 to go. So that one's not doing as good, but who knows? That one could also, that one could also get enough signatures by April 21st. Now, I think, based on how many signatures have been coming in the last few hours, that they will investigate Arizona very shortly. I think it was a few hours ago they had about 40,000 signatures, like 42,000 to get in. It might be a little bit lower, but the fact that they got like 10,000 signatures, I'd estimate, in just like 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, they're going to reach their goal very shortly, at least to investigate Arizona. As far as doing the recount, again, that petition doesn't have as many signatures, but as long as 100,000 get in by April 21st, that is okay. But, there have been chances to act on this. On the Iowa caucus, there weren't enough signatures. In the Nevada caucus, there weren't enough signatures. In the Massachusetts primary, there weren't enough signatures. But, those didn't really kick Bernie out of the race. You see, the reason I think people didn't really go off is because there were a lot of people. There were people that wanted to do something about it, and they signed the petitions. But the reason is Bernie was still in the race, and he only lost Massachusetts by I think 1.8. Man, or 1.4 maybe. I can't remember, but closed in on Hillary's lead there and lost it pretty close enough to be considered pretty much a tie in Hillary's favor. But anyway, see, because Bernie needed this state, well, he needed to win at least 9 out of 10 of the upcoming states. Now he has to win every state in huge margins. Not necessarily as big a margins as Idaho and Utah. He doesn't have to have a 58% lead in those states, I would say, but he has to get at least 58% of the vote. It'd be great if he had a 58 point lead in every state, and who knows, he might get that in these upcoming caucuses. It's very likely. Caucuses usually go in favor of Bernie because they're based on general election day results, and Bernie does better there. He does better in most caucuses. Now, Wisconsin, I think Wisconsin is a caucus, and New York is also a caucus, but those are more in favor of, well, Wisconsin's more competitive. That's neck and neck, but New York is in favor of Hillary, so yeah. Anyway, Arizona, what's going on there? It really, I'm serious. In a day or two, this is going to blow up in their faces. Arizona is the straw that broke the camel's back. And let me tell you, these signatures are going to come in. They're going to demand an investigation. They're going to reach their goal. And I think Obama actually might go through with it, considering Bill Clinton did slander Obama for the last horrible 8 years. See, if Bill Clinton pulls shit like that on Obama, he keeps it up, Obama might turn a blind eye to him, and who knows? Obama might not help the establishment at all, which, I mean, I think he's helping both the people and the establishment. He's kind of a people pleaser. I don't see him as a bad guy. I just see him trying to please everybody. Bernie gave his analysis on TYT that he's trying to help everybody. That, you know, I think he's a people pleaser, but a good guy. I just wish he'd stop trying to please these special interests and help everybody. But anyway, that's not my point. I could do that in another video, just on how I feel the 44th President of the United States did, and how what will happen when he passes the torch to the 45th President, and what that President will do. But anyway, yeah, Arizona was clearly rigged. My mother said, you know, if they could prove it, then I don't know, she just doesn't believe me. Some of the older folks don't, even those who are on the same side as us, we're voting for the same candidate. But yeah, there's countless proof. There's countless websites and videos that have proof of voter suppression. There are lines wrapped around these precincts that are miles long. Some voters had to get out of line and get water just to stay hydrated. And some volunteers even brought pizza in the lines. Pizza! Pizza! And drinking water while in line for 3 to 5 hours. That's not democracy. That's suppression. That's rigging. That's criminal behavior. and this needs to stop. Obviously, on the Republican side, they're not going to do anything to make Trump look bad because one, Trump is obviously for ratings, and another, he's got resources. Maybe even enough to take on the networks themselves. That's why even though Trump is anti-establishment, that shows why they're afraid of him, but they're not afraid to bash Bernie because Bernie, even though he's anti-establishment, let's be honest, his campaign is kind of on the ropes right now. He's hanging in there. And, like some people have said, and sometimes what I think is, it's like he barely does what he needs to, not intentionally, but it seems like the results come in and he gets just what he needs to stay in. Like on Super Tuesday, the one with 11 states, the first Super Tuesday, he needed to win Colorado, Minnesota, Oklahoma, and Vermont. He did that. He needed a real victory in Michigan. He did that. March 15th, he's supposed to be competitive. Couldn't be competitive, but he got a decent chunk of delegates. March 22nd, yeah, Arizona not good, but he won crushing victories in Idaho and Utah, and he got what he needed, I guess. But he was given a death blow, and then he got mostly what he needed after he lost Arizona. So yeah, he's hanging in there. Let's be honest, but every time Bernie goes down, they're not afraid to attack him and just go at him with everything they've got. But yeah, the point is, Bernie crushed in Idaho and Utah by much bigger than he needed, even after losing Arizona. But it's what he needs. He needs to win landslide victories in the next upcoming states, at least 58% of the vote, maybe 62 to 63%. Now, since he lost Arizona, but who knows? I'm not a political professional, but I'm just estimating he might need more because he lost Arizona, and they're probably going to do an investigation because of all the signatures coming in. Let me just check how many they got in now. Yep, they're coming in. Just a few minutes. These signatures are coming in. They're going to meet the goal, their petition goal for the investigation very quickly. Hang in there. Arizona is not for sure yet. They're likely going to reach the goal either tonight or tomorrow to investigate Arizona. Now, whether they reach the recount goal, I don't know. But hang in there. There is hope. And if it turns out that there's fraud there, and there likely is, Bernie could pick up some delegates, and Hillary could be prosecuted for this too. All right, guys. Hang in there. Feel the burn.